funny thing's going to happen as soon as it I think we're ready to go here. View, slideshow. All right, I'm gonna get motivated here. I didn't sleep good last night, so if I'm a little punchy tonight, that's why, okay? If I slur my words, it's not because I've been drinking, it's because I just didn't get the required 7 to 8 hours. I think I got 3.5. All right, so nutrition workshop, the carnivore diet. I should put carnivore hybrid diet. I started this diet last Thanksgiving, 2022, and I've done it straight through since then, but I've done some modifications because I've always taught you guys that you want to use your own body as a laboratory to figure out what works for you and what doesn't work, because we're all going to be different, right? And what works for me is not always going to work for everybody else. So I've tweaked things that I had to, and I'll get into those different tweaks. But I've done a lot of research on this one. I've watched tons of videos with Saladino and a lot of the other guys that are in the whole thing. I've read a couple of good books on it, and it's really very, very simple. It's probably the easiest. I don't even think it's a diet. I think it's just the way to really lean out. How many people want to lean out a little bit? Okay. Good. I mean, you can have a test. I usually have more of my testimonial people here, but that's okay.
Thank you.
But it's super, super simple. It's almost so simple. Sometimes it does get boring. Do you ever get bored, Kurt? Okay, well I do. I mean, it's pretty much a lot of the same food every day, okay?
I shouldn't say no, but not usually.
Okay. I mean, I don't get bored, but it's just hard to go out to eat with people, but you can do it still. All right, so let's bump this thing up. So we've got 10 factors of health, right? And you guys all know where I'm at with chiropractic, right? You got to do what? I mean, the thing is, a lot of times people think it's just the diet. It's also that we're going to what? We're going to ramp up the metabolism and get your body working stronger than it was before. So that's what chiropractic's really about. You guys know that. It's about increasing vibrations. Like I'm doing that vaccine workshop in 2 weeks with Dr. Barkey. Anybody want to go to that one? You might get scared, okay? It's like chiropractors have always kind of stood against it because we understand that what we do is upregulate the body to make it stronger. We're not going to inject you with a bunch of toxins to try to make you stronger. Because we know that God created you in His likeness and image, and you should have a strong immune system. And the reason most of us don't is because of these 10 factors. So one, if you're a human being and you have a spine, you need a what? A chiropractor. How many people go to a dentist? Yeah, I ask people, and then I go, "Who's your chiropractor?" "I don't need a chiropractor." Like, I had a lady that was brought her grandson in, and I just out of the conversation, I asked her who her chiropractor was, and she goes, "Oh, I don't need one. I don't have any back pain." Oh, that's not what I do. Like 2 testimonials I just had. I had a guy that came in. He was like 21 years old. He came in with low back pain and pelvic pain and neck pain. And then he was telling me about all of this. He was having genital urinary infections all the time, like once a month with discharge. You know, as a dude, that's not something you want to deal with, right? And he'd been to all these specialists and stuff, and he went taking all these antibiotics, which is destroying his microbiome, which is your second brain, right? And when I go through your, sometimes people think I'm smart. I'm not smart. I just dose stuff, okay? Some stuff, not a lot of stuff, okay? And I go through, like when you have low back issues, it can affect your colon, right? It can affect your bladder. It can affect your reproductive system. And so I just asked that stuff. And he said, "Yeah, I've been having all these genital urinary problems." And I said, "Well, hopefully when we work on you, that'll go away." And then he was here yesterday. He did a video for me. And since he started, he hasn't had one in 2 years, And he's not even that good of a patient. Chiropractic blows me away. And I had a lady today that came in. She's got this arm stuff going on. She thinks it's her arm. I know it's her neck. And I'm asking her the same questions. Do you ever have thyroid issues? And she looks at me, "How did you know?" I go, "Because that's the same nerve that goes to your thyroid, If you know the neurology." So what I try to get across to you is, one, yeah, we want to get rid of your pain or whatever your complaint is. But more importantly, we want to make sure that your brain talks to the organs and glands, and the organs and glands talk to the brain. And then, yeah, like she also had extensive amounts of degeneration in her neck. That's preventable. You know, you go to a dentist to prevent your teeth from falling out. You come to us to keep your spine healthy, and your spine houses what? Your nervous system, right? So the better you take care of your spine, the better your nervous system is, and the longer you're going to live is the bottom line. Okay, we're going to hit nutrition. It ain't hard. Now, I've been studying nutrition since 1977. That's a long time, huh? Isn't it? Okay. I'm dating myself right there.
Dating me.
Yeah. You know, probiotic, all these different diets, macrobiotic diet, you know, fat-free, low-fat, you know, I've seen the whole cascade, and I've been through all that stuff. Beef's bad, eggs are bad, right? We've all heard that stuff. I mean, but then again, you come back to what works for you, and it's coming back to common sense again. Again, we live in this world where everybody's afraid of cholesterol. Cholesterol is so important for a lot of your hormones that make things like testosterone. That's why we have all these guys that are, you know, testosterone deficient. Also, it makes a lot of the neurotransmitters for your brain, which can cause things like Alzheimer's when we get older. So, again, I try to get you to understand that your body works. We can't always measure things so objectively and forget about really where we came from. Does that make sense? Okay, because a lot of times we've seen like what was considered normal cholesterol a long time ago was like upwards of 270, and now they've lowered it to 200. And that's a lot of times with no research to support anything to validate what they're doing, and then because they want to sell what?
Medication.
Drugs, yeah. Same thing with what? The V word. Is everybody on the same page with me then, or I don't want to alienate anybody tonight, okay? I'm just here to help. And again, I tell you, if you want to do whatever you're doing, that's fine. I'm just saying there's a different way to do things, you know what I'm saying? We live in an infinite world, right? You know, God doesn't say, okay, the only way to fix things is with drugs and chemicals. Your problems aren't chemical problems. They're usually structural problems, right? So, again, we have to kind of think outside the box that we've been put into because we've been brainwashed to think the way we think. Amen?
Amen.
So my job is merely just to kind of like shake you up. I'm gonna have a little coffee because that's really good for sleep, right? That was probably my problem last night, to be honest with you. Because I'm trying to quit. It's a hard one, huh? I've been doing decaf. I mean, I used to, when I worked in restaurants, I go, why are people drinking decaf? You know, the orange label, or the orange thing on the rim. And now I'm doing it. All right, exercise. So I'm lucky because I get to surf. Surfing's one of those things where I love to do it, and sometimes you'll go to you can't even go anymore, you know. And there'll be situations where you're like going and you know you can't go anymore, but you go, it's either I paddle to get under that wave or I'm going to get drilled and it's going to be a lot worse. So you just do it. You push yourself. And that's what kind of pace training's about. So get into some pace training. Get into something where I'm not really big on lifting heavy weights because that all my friends that did that have what? New hips, new knees, okay? So it doesn't make sense. I use my weight. I do pull-ups, push-ups. I have a whole beach workout that I do when the waves aren't any good. Okay, but the waves have been really good lately.
Yeah.
And the water got really cold. And so I got up this morning, I looked out the window, it was like 47. No, 42!
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. All right, this one here, this one is my nemesis. I know what you're supposed to do, and I teach it. It's just that I have a zoo in my brain. Does anybody else have a zoo in their brain? And sometimes it's hard to quiet the zoo. Okay? And the zoo wakes up sometimes at, like I woke up the other day at 1:30 in the morning. That's not good. And the zoo didn't shut up. Okay, so I'm getting used to intermittent sleeping now. It's a new thing. There's intermittent fasting and intermittent sleeping. Grounding's easy. You just go take your shoes off, run around on the beach, right? And that vibration of the planet helps with your circulation, helps with really everything. We're designed to be touching the planet, sleeping on the planet. So as a way to kind of fix a deficit in our grounding, we have the Beamer machine. Everybody got a chance to use the Beamer? If anybody has questions about the Beamer, I'll show you that. Not tonight, but next time you're here, okay? With that, it's really good for opening up circulation because you need nerve flow, right? without nerve flow for like a few milliseconds, you're dead, right? But you also need blood flow because it carries what? Oxygen. So the reason our brain dies and we get Alzheimer's is because we lose circulation to the brain, right? And we get that from type what? Type 3 diabetes, where you lose that circulation and then cells in your, like people that get, they get gangrene or they lose their limbs. Like my grandfather had to have both his feet sawed off and he lost his vision because of the fact that he was a diabetic. He didn't listen to me. Your worst patients are who?
Your family.
Your friends and your family. Except then I made all my brothers chiropractors. So, and then when I first said I was going to chiropractic school, my mom thought I was wasting my life, but she changed her mind. Okay, detox. Like I'm doing a detox right now. I'm doing a colon kind of cleanse right now, and the problem with the colon cleanse is it gives me really radical cotton mouth. So, because you got to keep drinking water all the time, and then be happy, right? That's one of the things I do every morning. The first thing I get on my knees, I turn my life and my will over to God, and I go through a gratitude list of all my family, the fact that I got a roof over my head, I'm not sleeping in the street, simple things like I got water to drink, clean water, I have food. So it's good to give that positive energy back into the universe, because then you get it back, rather than having the stinking thinking, which will obviously bring more of that same stinking thinking and more negativity. This is one of our most popular workshops, obviously. You can see there's a good crowd tonight. Okay, I don't know if there's 40 here. It's close to it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The second most popular workshop that we do, I don't know why it is. I mean, it'll be even more crowded than this, is the cannabis mushroom workshop, using plant medicine to really heal a lot of things. And, sometimes I have patients that think it's like, bad because it's cannabis. It's God made the plant for a reason. It's just been abused and it's been hybridized to have extreme amounts of psychoactive parts. So the thing, you just have to understand that the plant has some good things and it has some what? Bad things, right? Everything is pretty much that way in life. And then breath work. Praise the Lord for breath work. I did Wim Hof this morning. Anybody else do Wim Hof today?
What's that?
It's a breathing exercise where you hyperventilate 30 breaths, and then you hold it for a minute and a half, then you hold it for 2 minutes, then you hold it for 2.5 minutes, then you hold it for 3 minutes. And it just really just chills you out afterwards. Okay, so sometimes when I'm stressed out, I'll do that. And then there's 4-7-8 breathing. So I will have a breath work workshop coming up probably in the near future. We've got the women's health coming up. Anybody, who's been there to that so far? Okay, a few of you. Okay, good. And that's
hold
we
your breath
teach.
for 3 minutes.
Oh, I can do it for 4.5.
Wow.
In the chamber, though.
Wow.
Oh.
The hyperbaric chamber. You go in there with the beamer, and you do the Wim Hof, and you can do it for 4.5. It's easy. Some days you can do it, some days you can't. Okay? Like I wouldn't have been able to do it today. You have to be really just perfectly centered. And then meditation. I am the worst meditator. Is anybody else a bad meditator, or am I the only one? It's not that I haven't tried, but that's what I do the breath work for, because it will put me in more of a meditative state. So these are things that you can apply to your life. The other thing is we have a water workshop coming up pretty soon. This is the most this is the most important tool that you have in your house to clean your water. And in fact, there's just stuff that came out there that we're using reclaimed sewage for your drinking water. Did you guys read that?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing can go wrong there, right? Unless your water tastes a little bit like poop. What was the other thing? Oh, and then there's also, they're putting the COVID virus in your water, too. And they're bringing it back, folks. Do you guys know that? Does everybody know? In fact, where was I today? I was at Sprouts. And there was a guy in there with one of those N95 masks.
Just one?
But
Just
one. And even when you go to Mother's, there's even more people there with it. Okay, and I don't know why you think people at a health food store would get it, but they don't.
I wondered the same thing.
Yes, huh?
Most health food places have the worst amount of people that are all crazy.
What's with that? And then they all have kind of weird, wiry. They don't look very healthy. You know what I'm saying? That's because a lot of I won't get into it. Their specific diet that they're using is causing some degree of malnutrition in my mind, okay? All right, so those are the other things. Can you think of any? It started out with just 5. It was chiropractic, nutrition, exercise, sleep, and being happy. And then I just, over time, because we have all those other workshops, the EMF workshop,
Yes, I want that one.
that's a good one, but let me tell you the drawback to that one. Your cell phone will not work in your house, which is good,
Uh-huh.
unless you want to talk on your cell phone. But then I have a landline, so I can handle that. But there's pros and cons to it all. Yeah, and your Wi-Fi doesn't go through your house, so I have cables. So, but the thing is, you have to understand that everybody's like, oh, I don't want X-rays, but then you're walking around with a cell phone in your front pocket, and you wonder why people like prostate cancer is out of control. Remember when women used to put them in their bra, and what would they get? Breast cancer. So the thing is, you got to understand that that's really just a bioweapon. And I succumbed. You guys know I went cell phone-less for all that time. And I finally sold out. Because I got the Oura Ring and I wanted to check my sleep, which I bailed on that because if you get a bad score, then you're kind of like, well, I'm going to have a horrible day today. So even if you felt like you slept good.
Still messes.
And I remember there were times where I'd stay up all friggin' night looking at the ceiling, and I would go to work and I would feel 100% fine, So maybe I'm one of those weird people that doesn't need that much sleep. I don't know. All right, let's see what the next slide is. Yes.
What did you, when you said balance or ECSs?
Thank you. Endocannabinoid system.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay, that's the master. I mean, everybody thinks that the nervous system is, which it really is, but also the endocannabinoid system, which have you guys heard that term before?
Uh-uh.
It's a system in your body which they just discovered in 1987 that really controls everything. You have endocannabinoid receptors in every cell. So that's why CBD, CBA, all these different cannabis entities have such an effect on the body, especially things like inflammation, preventing cancer, decreasing brain fog. It's got a lot of benefits, okay? And I look at it like I take it every day as kind of like my multivitamin with a multivitamin on top of it. All right, so here's the bottom line with this stuff is that if you just stopped eating what? Crap! It's crap! Like, people would bring all this stuff into me like at Christmas time. And I'm not ungrateful about it, but if I ate that stuff, like you saw in there, they said sugar is a drug. I mean, it's like cocaine. You don't think it is, but because you can buy it at the store, right? But it tweaks you in almost kind of the same ways, except you can still eat after you do sugar, right? And I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and I'm going to admit I wasn't perfect, okay? I was far from perfect, okay? And now I'm as straight as an arrow because as you get older, you get smarter. You know what my new high is? Clarity! Just being there, okay? And being 100%. Because as you get older, you just don't have that same resilience, you know what I mean? Like, when you turn like 50 and you try to party again, it's like you have a hangover for a long time. And when you're a kid, you could get up, like nothing happened. What happened? I thought my liver was bad. So this is what I've kind of learned from this. If you just stopped eating garbage and trash, and we're going to get into what the garbage and trash is, because some of it's disguised and you don't even know it's bad for you, or even they tell you it's good for you, right? Just start eating food, because I've slowly brought fruit in, right? I told you guys that. Also honey, because honey is carnivore, right? Because it's from bees. Hey, what's up? And then I've lately also brought a few vegetables in, because I know. But you just got to lower your toxic load. And again, if you don't do too much of these things, you're not going to cause a problem, right? Because I was juicing turmeric, okay? And turmeric's loaded with what? Oxalates, right? And what else is bad for you? Spinach is loaded with oxalates. And see, these things that we used to think were good, I juiced that stuff, put it in smoothies and stuff, and I was literally frying my kidneys with that. I was having flank pain. I think it was kidney pain. And when I stopped eating that stuff, that went away. All right, so the books that I really got into, this is the book. It's a little bit thick. It's also a little bit meaty. You got to have kind of a science mind to read it. There's other books that you can buy that are easier to read. Got it? This is the book that I read a long time ago about what? What's that one about? Lectins, right? And I didn't realize that lectins were bad for me, and all this stuff. So then I started cutting out the foods that were high in lectins, and then I read Sally's book, Sally Norton, and she's all about the oxalates, and some of the stuff that you think would be good for you are like the spinach is the number one thing. There was a guy he was 27 years old, and he was he was putting spinach in all of his smoothies. He ended up having what? Kidney stones. I heard those are really comfortable. What are you guys doing?
No. Yeah.
Just drink more what? This is all you get to drink. And maybe coconut water and raw milk. But there's nothing better than water though. Especially our water, right? You guys agree, right? You know it's so weird if you just go other places and you taste water, it tastes like
Ooh,
chlorine, it tastes like they come out and they're gonna pour. No, I don't eat any of that.
You can see.
I bring my own water everywhere. And then I went to church the other day and I brought my water, but it was in a plastic bottle. And I got busted by one of my patients. I can't believe you're drinking out of plastic. Because I always leave stuff everywhere, you know? You don't want to leave your, nice flask at freaking church. All right, what's next here? This book's easy to read. That book's easy to read. And there's all kinds of books on carnivore diet that are easy to read. All right, so Paul Saladino, he's an MD. He lives in Costa Rica now. I want that job. You know what I thought I might want to do? I want to do like one-on-one coaching for baby boomers. What do you guys think about that? Why are you laughing?
That's a good idea.
And just use myself. The only thing I'm not going to be good at is your sleep coach, okay? I can tell you what to do. Oh, man. Now, somebody asked him why he does his videos and stuff with no shirt on and stuff. Why are you laughing? Because what?
I do it that way.
A picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Walk the talk, right, folks? I shouldn't say it, but I almost want to say it. I mean, a lot of times you go to your MDs, they're not in very good shape. You know what I'm talking about? Most chiropractors are in pretty good shape because we walk our talk. All right, so I figured. So, and this is what Saladino said. He said, "You can't buy. You see, you can't buy it. You know, it's you earn it, right?" And that's me. I surfed, I think, 4 hours that day at Lower Trestles with a bunch of Chinese surfers from China. They were on the Chinese surf team. Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, it's like you want to get rid of all the excess baggage. Like people, I got knee problems, I got hip problems, it's because you got all this extra weight on there, man. Like my daddy lives up in Idaho now, right? I mean, he listened to me. I mean, my dad's like, you don't want to go to CVS with my dad. Hey, he's like gnarly. He doesn't hold back. Huh? No, he's just like, they ask him if he wants a flu shot, he'll go off on him, you know what I'm saying? Because he's on our page 100%, okay? In fact, he's like sometimes quite ornery about that kind of stuff. So, you got to get rid of the weight. Okay, this is Kurt. Kurt started here. When did you start coming in here?
August, September.
You want to stand up and talk to these guys?
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to have him do his testimonial real quick because, I mean, I want to give you some hope, right? Hope is good. And faith that this stuff works. So, you started when?
I think it's August, September 2021.
Okay, you met me at the Freedom Crusade.
Yeah.
We were doing those, right? They were speakeasy underground, kind of like in Huntington Beach. We were going against the grain. We were getting together. None of us had masks on. We basically told the man to, you know what. Okay, so then you decided to come and see me, right?
Yeah.
And you thought I was a little nuts.
You were in the little nuts.
I'm nuts. Let's all say that, okay? I have to live
But
with
passionate.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is what I wanted.
And then you
Yeah, like
came
you
in,
said,
and then
passion
tell me, you said you went through this today, and I would kind of know some of this stuff. And tell me what else you kind of.
Oh well, I didn't have back pain. I came here because I was looking for a way out of the how would I say it, the sick care system.
The sick care. And you were on some meds then.
Yes, I was on blood pressure medication.
Yeah.
And then so I was just looking for just anything. I didn't know what it was. Didn't really know much about chiropractic. Just kind of thought I didn't have back pain, but this guy was interesting, and we were on the same page about all this stuff that was going on in the world, and so I thought I need to check that out. I thought maybe it was coming here for nutrition counseling, and I don't know what it was. Anyway, introduced me to the whole concept of chiropractic, and I remember I came my first day, and next thing you know, he's giving me an adjustment, and he's like doing the neck thing, and I'm like, I never thought in a million years I'd be doing that. Like how did this happen? Turns out it's my favorite thing now.
Yeah, in fact, he told me it wasn't deep enough tonight.
Yeah. Do it better.
You go deeper on that.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
You did too.
Yeah.
Not let everybody do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What else? So yeah, I've just been taking it, keeping at it, and
Doesn't he look better, folks? Okay, so why don't you just tell him about a
65 pounds ago.
little 65 pounds?
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
just chiropractic and changing his diet.
Wow.
Yeah, mostly carnivore, right?
mostly, yeah.
And then I've got a plethora of people that have all. I've had one guy that lost 100 pounds. He looks like a completely different person. And it's like you're never hungry. Are you ever hungry? No.
Well, I mean, I intermittent fast. I eat one meal. I do 1 meal a day too. I do both that, but I'm not hungry. This is the first thing I had today was the tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're cheating tonight. So it works
Yeah.
if you work it. You can't cheat though.
But
Anything else you want to say?
There's health implication about that for me too. Just the rest and digest thing. That's more. I'm not doing it to lose weight. I'm doing it just to manage my.
Right. Your parasympathetic nervous system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. And
That's-
lowered his blood pressure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Without medication. Oh my God.
Got
Can you
on
believe
there.
that? All right.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes I see so many people are on all these meds, and I'm just asking myself, I mean, when do you get to go off that stuff? Never.
Yeah,
You're
only
on
gets
it for
worse.
life.
Right,
Just keep
customer
it-
for
just
life.
keep
But
it-
that's
keep-
just
yeah.
what you're programmed to think, you know? Yeah, I mean, I have a patient that, basically changed his whole life, but they put him on meds too, and then he got great results. How do we know it wasn't the lifestyle changes that gave him the results that he got? Let's at least check and see. And if, we see something change back the way it was before, then we can go back on the med, but I can guarantee you 99% chance that it was the lifestyle changes, not the drugs. Because the drugs all have what? Horrible side effects. Okay? Because it's changing your physiology. Thank you, Kurt. Let's give it up for
Thank
Kurt.
you.
I don't know which one of these is the most important. I'm going to say a lot of people have a lot of autoimmune issues, right? Like, who was that person? Oh, man. Jordan Peterson, right? His daughter had rheumatoid arthritis, which is a autoimmune issue. Like all these people that have like things like diabetes, all these chronic diseases that kids are getting now. 54% of kids have a chronic disease because of this from what? The death darts, right? And a hideous diet and everything else. It's all layered, right? Go to the beach. Weight gain, right? Inflammation. I mean, the reason all these people come to me with pain and stuff because they're inflamed. People that have problems with brain fog is because they have inflammation in their brain. And as I always joke, usually I have more energy than a hummingbird on crack, except for tonight. So you guys are lucky. You got to tone down me tonight. Is that all right? Am I toned down tonight?
Yeah.
What do you think, Octavia? You think I'm toned down? Okay, good. All right. And then the thing too is like during COVID, during the COVID scam, right? In fact, I wear my COVID is a scam shirt today. You got to be kind of brave to wear that shirt. That's not the word I wanted to say. Bold! Because you're going to get a little flack from not many people. Most people go, dude, I like your shirt. You can talk louder. Somebody else can hear you say that. Because I used to wear them on a plane and people, I go, you can, express a little bit. because I want people to understand the truth. I mean, you don't get sick because of what? Germs. You get sick because you suck. You suck at living by the rules. Like during the scam, I didn't get sick what? Even though Joe Rogan got sick and he was on TV talking about it, taking his ivermectin and all this stuff. And now he realizes that us crazy anti-vaxxers were maybe right.
That's another point, actually. I got the COVID or whatever right when I started here. Haven't been sick since.
Right. And I've been in practice for 38 years and I've never missed a day once ever from being sick. Now mental sick.
And I'm around sick people. No problem. It's like yeah.
And I only think I had one patient get it because we educate. The thing is, I want you to be your own friggin' doctor. Got it? I don't want you have some dude that sees you for 30 seconds, writes you a prescription to be your doctor. And drugs are great. What? Right? At parties. No, drugs are great in a crisis. Right? I was kidding.
Oh, God.
Relax. I have to throw some humor in there to keep, you know. Pattern interruption. Tony Robbins, right? But he drops a lot of F-bombs. I throw a few jokes in there. That's my New Year's resolution, is to swear less.
To be funny?
Yeah. I'll never be funny like you, Dan. Dan, I'll never be as funny as you. And Mr. One-Liner. Okay, so this all is because we're decreasing our what's phyto mean? Plant toxic load. I think I made that word up. I don't know if I did. I make a lot of words up. Because somebody had to make them up, right, at one time. Who invented the word the? Does anybody know? Okay. All right. So, carnivore-ish hybrid diet lowers inflammation, weight gain, inflammation. Yeah, a lot of your weight issues are because you're inflamed and then you take on extra water to deal with the inflammation. And then if you do that colon cleanse I'm doing, I guarantee you'll probably lose 7 to 10 pounds of crap. Thank you. I like when you guys answer my questions because it keeps me out of trouble. That's in your colon, okay? And you'll just feel lighter on your surfboard or whatever you do. All right, what's next here? All right, so this sometimes will offend vegans, and if you're a vegan, great. I wish I could be a vegan, but I don't think it would work for my body. But what we've discerned is that our brains got bigger when we started eating meat. We got smarter. And has anybody read the book Breath by Nestor? Yeah, so our brains have gotten so big that now it's really interfered with our mouths and our nose, and it's affected our breathing. That's why a lot of people have breathing issues. Okay, so.
Because why?
Because our whole face and everything has changed from the fact that our brains have gotten so big, it's pushed everything, kind of compressed everything.
I didn't know that.
Read the book.
Thank you.
It's a good book. It's about mouth breathing and nose breathing. So we should breathe through our what? Our nose. Okay. All right. We saw a major decline in human health when we started farming 10,000 years ago. When populations around the globe started turning to agriculture around 10,000 years ago, regardless of their locations, the type of crops, a similar trend occurred. The height and health of the people declined. Skeletal analysis suggests that these Neolithic people experienced greater physiological stress due to undernutrition and infectious disease. So the reason we don't have all the problems that we used to have with all these said diseases, normal diseases of childhood, is anybody old enough to remember when there were normal diseases like measles and mumps and chickenpox were all normal? And what you'll learn at that workshop coming up is that those diseases prime your immune system. They're like gateways that's why we got all these problems. These kids have, childhood cancers. They're sick all the time, ear infections, all that stuff. We have all these neurological problems. Prove me wrong on something that's never ever been proven to show any efficacy and never proven to be safe. Yes.
There's 15 million American children in the U.S. who are overweight with obesity, and after between 10 and 14, they can become susceptible to having a stroke.
Right. Especially if they got exposed to said vaccine. All right, so what are some of the things I see? Cavities, you'll read that in that breath workshop or the book too. Tooth decay. What else? We've got tuberculosis of the spine, poor wound healing, and then just overall just decrease in stature and posture as well because we get more osteoporosis as a result of it. All right, so let's talk about the plant. The plant doesn't want you to eat it. Did you know that? Did you know that? Plants are smart. You can talk to plants and they'll listen. You know, I'm serious. She understands. I like you. You're kind of on the same page with me on everything. So I'm gonna stare at you instead of staring at Dan. Okay. I still love you, Dan. He gave me a great book. Die with zero. All right, plants' goals are to survive and reproduce. So the leaves, what? That's where we get all our energy, man, right? They're the ones that soak up the sun, and then the animals will eat that, and then we get the energy from the sun through the plant that was eaten by the cow, right? Or if we just eat the plant. Got it? Because how else are you going to get that sunlight? That's where the energy ultimately comes from. That sun that's out there that God put there for us, right? The roots store the energy. Also, it sucks up the water that it needs, right? The stems transport the energy, the glucose. And the seeds are what? The progeny. That's the next. So this is what you want to stay away from are the seeds. Because a plant doesn't want you eating their young. Right? Leaves, roots, stems, seeds. So the least toxic is going to be the fruit. Okay, how many people here would rather eat a donut peach? You know what a donut peach is, right? Maybe let's change it. A peach. Okay, I don't want to complicate things. Or broccoli. How many? Raise your hands if you'd rather eat a peach. How many broccoli eaters in here? Okay, it's tough. Huh? How about kale? Let's say, how about blueberries or kale? Okay, that's kind of unanimous, right? There's not even any argument with you on that one. See, God gave us the fruit, and the fruit looks what? Kind of sexy, right? It doesn't look like broccoli. Or carrot. Well, maybe carrot looks sexy to some people. Broccoli. Like you look at like a mango, all that stuff looks really kind of enticing, or a pineapple, and then it tastes good, and then inside there is what? The seeds, and then we're not eating the seeds in the fruit, right? We're spitting it out, unless you're eating a what? A banana. Okay? So God made the plants with the fruit, so the evolution of kind of the carnivore-ish hybrid diet is, like for me, it's hard for me to eat like 2.5 pounds of meat a day. You guys with me? Like I had a half pound of turkey at lunch, and I was like really pushing it to get that down, okay? And sometimes I can eat 16 ounces of steak at night, but that's hard. I mean, that took me to work up to that. And then what I do is also put honey on top of it, because part of being like super active lifestyle is you need to keep your calories up, right? And if you're not doing the fruit, plus you're not getting some of the minerals and vitamins that are in that fruit as well. Got it? And I'll go through some of the symptoms that I had and the same symptoms that Saladino had, all right? All right, so defense chemicals decrease as the fruit ripens. So the body knows, I mean, the plants know what they're doing it. And then not only do you eat the fruit, and if there's seeds in it, sometimes the seeds will go through you and will come out in that little pile of fertilizer, right? You know what I'm talking about? In fact, I did a picture on Facebook of a cow or a horse that took a big dump. Thank you. Yeah, I'm starting to like you. Took a big dump, and I just thought to myself, horses are never constipated, are they? Are they? Somebody said, they brought up some incidents of some horse that was okay, whatever. All right. Because what? They eat what they're supposed to eat. They eat, I would get sick of eating grass all day, I tell you that, right? But that's all they eat. And they drink what?
Apples, they eat apples.
They do. But not in the wild probably that often. But maybe they do.
If they found a tree.
Yeah, they can reach. They drink what though?
Water.
Yeah, they're not drinking Diet Cokes and everything else. Like I was talking to a patient today that quit drinking alcohol, but now he's drinking a bunch of sodas and he's gaining weight. And he's like, dude, you gotta get the sodas out. You know? We weren't designed to drink anything but water. as I'm drinking a cup of coffee. Okay. I still have some vices. Okay, not many. So what are the toxins in there? Is isothiocyanates, polyphenols, salicylates, oxalates, and lectins. Those are the plant doesn't want you to eat it. It wants you to eat the fruit. Got it? That's the theory. So high oxalate foods. I was juicing turmeric. Look at where that's off the chart. 2190 milligrams. I was eating some spinach. What else was I? Baked potatoes. I love baked potatoes. And then to my dissatisfaction, the raspberries are on there because I do like berries. Berries are one of the things that Saladino recommends I do. Mostly what? Blueberries, because they're low in phytotoxins. I'll throw a few little raspberries in there. And like I had a smoothie today, right? Half a banana, half a avocado, couple raspberries, a lot of blueberries. Then I use raw milk, and I put some collagen in there. And I put some minerals in there too. So one of the things you want to bump up is your minerals as well. Salt the living daylights out of everything. With what? Table salt. No, with sea salt. Just making sure everybody's awake in the back row back there. Okay? All right. Because we all heard before what? Salt's bad, it causes high blood pressure. Like my dad was like, I go, no, dude. Because his sodium was like, the normal range is 135 to 145. It was like down to 130. And he was having some problems associated. I go, just start salting everything. He goes, but my doctor told me not to. That's table salt. Get some fine sea salt. Okay? And then what is another thing that I liked? Oh, French fries. Who doesn't like French fries, right? That's like an evil. And I don't eat French fries, but because there's a lot of other bad things in French fries. What are some of the other ones? Curcumin, resveratrol. How do you say that one? Catechin. Does anybody know how to say that properly?
Which one?
The third one. Catechin. All right. So spinach, soybeans, because beans are what? Seeds. Flax seeds. Clove seeds.
Is it bad?
Yeah, but the berries aren't. I don't know why that's up there. But then almonds are bad as well, okay? So no almond milk. I don't think black olives are bad as long as you're not eating the seeds. All right, so here's the spectrum. Here's where you want to eat. Okay, the berries are over here, right? I'm not a big fan of squash. Anybody? Except for squash pie that they have over at True Foods. That stuff's pretty amazing. And then non-sweet fruits. That's what your avocados and stuff. So you're going to put that in your. Everybody puts avocados in their smoothies,
Yeah.
right? That's just increasing the fat load, and then you're going to use the raw milk in there, which is all whole fat. Then next would be your sweet fruits, like an apple. Minimize that. If you're trying to lose weight initially, I would go straight carnivore, pretty much. Just eat meat. And then as you lose the weight and you want to get more energy, then slowly add some of the berries. I mean, Saladino even has you do papaya because he's in Costa Rica, mango, and bananas and stuff like that. Okay? But that means you got to go burn it off. Right? If you're not exercising, don't add that stuff back in. What are these right here? Does anybody know?
Cabbages.
Yeah.
Lettuce.
That's your cruciferous vegetables. Like that, I think even Joe Biden doesn't like. Isn't he the one that says he doesn't? No, that wasn't Joe Biden. It was somebody else that said that.
Bush.
Yeah, Bush. Thank you for pulling that. Who said that? Yeah, somebody that's old enough to know, just like you and me. We're on the same page. Then you're going to stay away from all these high oxalate foods, like your spinach, your seeds, your legumes, grains. I read that book a long time ago. Now it's getting cold in here, right?
Yeah.
Just think if you didn't have any hair. Okay, it's going to want to keep it up again. The No Grain Diet by Joe Mercola was one of the books I read a long time ago. That was like pivotal in my whole nutrition thing. We also think, you know, the macrobiome diet, eat a lot of grains and stuff. You want to get that stuff out.
Is sourdough better if you're going to do that?
You don't eat any bread, dude. That's like the worst of the worst. If you're going to party, yeah, one day you can have it. But remember Christmas. Like, everybody was sick at Christmas, right? Not you guys, but most people, I mean, I saw people were sick, like they got sick and they were well in 2 weeks and they got sick again. How does that happen? Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, partying, booze, less sunlight because you're not out in the sun, and the sunlight's less, right? In the Summer. That's the fool season, right? I mean, flu season. Excuse me. All right, and then nuts. Okay, but this is the worst of them, in my opinion, and the seeds. Okay. All right, let's go to bioavailability of iron. So that's why you got to eat a little bit of what? Meat, a lot of meat, because if you look at the iron's for what? Help your red blood cells, and that's carrying the oxygen. So a lot of people are anemic that don't eat enough meat. Okay, and then you can see foods that you would think that might have it. Like I used to think that spinach had a lot of iron. Why did I think that? Because of Popeye, right? Yeah, exactly. You and I are on the same page on almost everything. Okay. Okay, now we're going to look at God's multivitamin. How many people love liver? I do too. And I was doing this today and I go, you know what? I haven't been eating enough liver lately. The problem is finding it anymore. I remember when I was a kid, I hated liver. My mom would make liver and onions once a week. And then what would we have on Friday?
Brussels sprouts.
Fish! Because we were Catholics. It's like this, like, red, oh no. And they would be not fish, it'd be fish sticks, because we lived in the Midwest. Oh, you want catfish today? Catfish is actually pretty good, but it's a bottom feeder, and it's also most of it's farm, so you want to stay away from that. All right, let's get back to work here. Okay, so this is what I eat a lot of. Can I tell you a secret? How many people live in Costa Mesa? I'm not going to tell too many people. Okay, you guys can't listen. Okay, how many people are not in Costa Mesa? Okay, good. I'll tell you guys. I go to Grocery Outlet. They got these New York steaks in there.
I was going to say that.
12-ounce New Yorks for $4.99. I just buy all of them.
We just bought a ton of grass fed.
Yeah, grass fed.
I've been sous videing them as well, and they come out.
Dude, where do you buy them?
Grocery Outlet.
Which one?
We go to the one in Laguna.
Laguna.
Niguel,
Okay,
and
good.
I'm up
Just
in
stay away
Dallas.
from my store, all right? I don't want to go in there and they're all gone. It's like the best kept. Then they got this other ground beef in there.
Yeah, we buy all of it.
Do you buy that too?
It's half the price of Costco.
Right, and then they got great eggs in there, and they have organic vegetables. You can go to Mother's and they're on sale for $6.99 for blueberries. You go over there. I bought them over there for $3.99 for a big box of them. Okay. Okay, stay away from the Costa Mesa one. Okay?
What's the name of the place?
Grocery Outlet.
Grocery Outlet. There's all kinds of great bargains in there, man. Okay.
Might have to come
Hey Dan,
Okay.
Yes,
you're thrifty. Okay.
I'm second team all frugal myself.
Okay, frugal. That's a good word too. Egg yolks are great. Remember we heard those were bad. How many people eat fish roe? Probably unless you eat sushi. I love fish roe. Blueberries have a pretty good amount of some stuff. So does kale. But you want to get some liver in your diet, like 3 to 8 grams. Or what was it? 3 to 8 grams a week? No, 3 to 8 ounces of liver.
Where do you find the liver?
That's a great question. You could probably go over to Wild Fork. They would have it there. You can order it at any butcher store. You can even order it at Irvine Ranch Market, that's where I order it from.
How about in supplement form, like all
You
this
could do
desiccated
supplements.
liver,
Yes, you can do that
organs,
too.
all that.
You can also do the desiccated testicles too. They have those too. You know that, right?
Yes.
Dan? You would like that, wouldn't you? All right, animal-based meat, and you got to eat the organs too. You can't just eat the connective tissue, the muscles. So that means
The heart,
gizzard,
gizzard.
the gizzard. And here's the thing: is like, does anybody know Standard Process?
What?
Standard Process is a company. They make a lot of these polymorpho something PMG stuff, where it's actually like if you have a thyroid problem, you eat what? Thyroid. If you have a kidney problem, you eat kidney. If you have a brain problem, you eat brain. Okay. So you want to eat the organs, especially if you're having testosterone issues, you would want to eat the testicles, right? Unless you're a female. I mean, I don't know. You can think about it. Because sometimes women have low testosterone too, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And somebody was saying to me, I need to get my testosterone. You should have that checked because that's really your vigor and your drive. And if you're low in that, there's a lot of things you can do to ramp it up, especially the carnivore diet's going to be great for that. Fish. I don't eat a lot of pork. I don't even like chicken, to be honest with you. But I eat it like maybe once a week. Bake it in the oven. I like the wings and the drumlets, right? because they got a lot of fat on it. You know, in the old days, well, don't eat that. There's too much fat on it. And that's what you want. You want to eat more and more fat because that's really what's going to satiate you, and you're not going to be hungry all the time. Okay. Raw dairy. I'll show you some stuff coming up here. I'm going way over time. Okay, I'm gonna speed up. Add carbs, less toxic. Fruit. I put honey on. How many put honey on their steak? Nope.
Never.
It's
We'll try it.
amazing. It is so good. You wouldn't think it was good,
Is
but
it after you do cook it? You just like glaze
yeah,
it?
you just eat it with right. Yeah, put it on the grill, cook it, and then take it in, put it on a plate, and then put a lot of honey on it. Yeah. And a lot of sea salt. All right, so here's the problem I was having. Oh my God, sleep issues. But the big thing I was having was these friggin' cramps in my calves. I wake up, oh.
That's terrible.
Did you ever get those?
Yeah.
And then I was getting it in my feet. I'd be paddling, surfing. I can't tell you a real quick story. I was down in Costa Rica, and I was having all these cramps. And I guess what I forgot my magnesium, you know. And then this guy appeared out of the jungle, and I was talking to him. I was telling him my problem. And he goes, I have some magnesium. And he gave me this big, it was like a miracle from God. He just showed up out of the jungle with magnesium. And then God also did this the other day. My Beamer broke down. And I was all bummed because I had to send it in for $2,000 to get it fixed. And it started, God fixed it. Like the next day it was working. I brought it to the office and I was working again. And then my barbecue. I can keep going. God, I love you so much. Thank you for taking care of me. So electrolytes too, okay? But Saladino was having the same thing, sleep issues, mood issues, and also he was having the same thing with the cramps. And it's probably due to the fact that you're not getting a lot of the electrolytes, minerals, and vitamins that you would get from eating more plants versus eating just the meat. Okay? Long-term ketosis causes sleep disturbances. Okay, hormonal issues, electrolyte imbalances, cramps, sleep issues, heart palpitations. So you want to get the magnesium in there, sodium, potassium, and my good friend Dr. Reddy told me to bump up my calcium too, which has helped a lot as well. And it's calcium lactate that you take for that. Increased carbs with increased activity. 100 grams of fruit, it's 540 calories. It increases focus and your mobility. It increases the strength of your ligaments. And as I always say, I like to do just push-ups, pull-ups. I do bar dips on the lifeguard stands. I do sprinting in the sand. That's really good. In the deep, find the deepest you can and just go. And you carry your little 5-pound weights in your arms. And then I do squats, right? It's just my body weight. And that way you're not going to toast all your joints, man. Increased carb, I already said that. Drink water, right? Coconut water and raw milk. And can you think of anything else that would be good? That would be safe? No? Maybe a little bit. You shouldn't even drink.
Lemonade? Just add lemon to your water?
Yeah, that would probably work. So you don't put a bunch of sugar in
My
there.
kids
Yeah.
don't like coconut water, but
They
if
don't?
I blend watermelon
That would be
and I
perfect.
sift it and I put it in the coconut water, they're fine.
Okay, so we just figured something else out too. You could probably do a little bit of juice.
Mhm.
Vegetable juice. Low glycemic vegetable juice like celery. No, not
Mhm.
celery. You're going to use cucumber because cucumbers are what? It's a fruit. You just take the seeds out, take the skin off, you get rid of all the lectins. You don't take the skin off? Oh, you only take you get the seeds out. That's the worst part, okay? And I'm just giving a plug for our water, innate water. And then you want to stay away from plastic. Right? Plastic sucks. Not only sucks for you, but it sucks. Why is plastic bad? Because it causes what? Xenoestrogens, which mimic estrogen, which again is causing a feminization in males, and it causes a hyper estrogen situation in women, which can cause all your breast cancer, right? You'll learn this at the Women's Health Workshop.
And don't we have a hard time detoxing that plastic
You
too?
can never get rid of it.
Right.
You have it for life.
Right.
Like I was in this pristine area of the Maldives, and we walked up on this little island that was probably 4 times as big as this room, and it was just covered with plastic, like out in the middle of nowhere. How does it get there? And in Costa Rica, it's all over the beaches, We clean it up here, so you don't see it as much. Eat meat with higher fat content because you don't want to get what? Rabbit sickness. People that would eat super, super lean meats would actually die from eating like rabbits because rabbits don't have any fat on them. So you want to find the best, fattiest steak you can find, okay? And I don't know, in the old days, you we weren't supposed to eat the fat. I think the fat's the best tasting part of the steak.
Yeah.
Don't you guys agree with me?
It's the most
Okay.
flavor.
Yeah, the most flavor. And it also gives you're full. Red meat, you can eat beef, lamb, deer, bison. Fish is high in not only the microplastics, but the heavy metals, man. We really screwed up this planet. And I don't think it's ever going to go away. And then the pork and chickens, they're all being fed what? Corn and soy. And most of the corn and soy is what? GMO. You guys are smart. 1.3 grams of protein. So you're going to eat about 1 gram of protein for your pound of body weight. Increase your grams of carbs. You know what? Just eat, okay? Just eat till you're full. When you have to start calculating stuff, it gets up. Like, I don't weigh my meat. I know what it weighs, though, because it says,
Says it on the
yeah,
package.
on the package. So, yeah, maybe I do know the weight. I just eat as much as I can, though.
When you eat the fruit, the little bit that you eat, you don't eat it at the same time, it might be later at a different time.
Good point, because you're going to hyperdigest the fruit, underdigest the meat. So, good point.
Oh, that's
I usually like it for breakfast today. I had a 16-ounce New York that I cooked the night before.
Yeah.
Okay? Slice it super thin into little itty bitty pieces so you chew it really good. I learned that from a friend of mine. Salted the living daylights out of it. I had that, and then probably an hour later I made a little fruit smoothie with the avocados, berries, and the banana.
Got
Got it. Cool. Does anybody know what that is?
Octopus.
So good. I mean, there's so many. Go to Santa Monica Seafood. They got the best fish around. Okay. There's one of my. What's that?
Santa Monica Seafood, they sell retail?
Yeah, retail. Yeah,
I didn't know they had retail.
yeah. I didn't know they had wholesale.
Yeah.
Where's the wholesale place?
Ice cream.
In Mr. Grocery Outlet. Where's that at? Wholesale place. You got a secret you want to share? All right. So this is one of the posts I did. So halibut isn't always the most exciting fish. I love it. As long as you don't what? Overcook it.
Yeah.
Like people, I don't like fish. That's because every time you've had fish, it's been overcooked. Like I've had people's fish. It's like, oh, dude, how do you eat this? You know what I mean? Like they cook salmon and it's so dry. Oh God, gag me. Okay. So I cooked the bacon first, right, and then I cooked the fish in the bacon grease.
Yummy.
It's salty. No, seriously, it's so good. And then you could put butter on top of it. I'm giving you some great ideas. And then eat some avocados and some papaya. That was a great dinner.
Where do you get good papaya? You don't get it here.
They have it at Mother's, but you get ripped off for it. They have the
You
organic
have to go to
stuff.
the islands.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. Here's some foods that have brain in them, right? Heart and liver. Maybe it doesn't have brain in it. It's got
Force of
liver.
nature.
Yeah, you can get this at Mother's. You could probably get it at Sprouts too.
Sprouts too.
Here's your snacks. I put some. Do you guys want to try some pork rinds?
I used to eat those. They're so good.
These are at Grocery Outlet too. $4.99 for a bag of these at Mother's. Guess how much at Grocery Outlet? The same bag.
$1.99.
Yes.
Wow.
The price is right.
You win.
I'm sharing $6. In fact, this is the last time we're having food. I just figured out I'm spending $800 a month at Wahoo's.
Wow.
You see all those tacos over there?
Yes.
Food is expensive
Thank you.
now.
Thank you.
You guys bring your own lunch from now. Just pass these around. What is that?
What is this?
Those are pork rinds.
They're
Oh, I'm going to show you my dessert. Wait till you see the
hot
dessert.
and spicy.
Kurt's had my dessert. He's a full-time
Game changer.
game changer dessert. You ready for this? This is the best dessert you will ever eat in your entire life. Cheesecake. Okay, so snacks. I eat a lot of Epic bars, which are all meat. I eat a lot of raw cheese, right? Why do you want raw? What's the big factor there? Yes. Pasteurized means you're eating dead food. You want to eat living food because there's still enzymes in it. So the only problem with the pork rinds is that it's hideous for your breath. Okay, so you got to brush your teeth after you eat them. And if you brush your teeth, you don't use Listerine. You use a regular mouthwash. Okay. Raw cheese, berries, beef jerky, and other fruits. Let's go to you want to see the dessert now? Nope, that's not it. Smoothies, avocado, berries, half-ripe banana. I don't do pineapple. Why? Because it's super high glycemic. I'm really affected by sugar. You can put aloe juice in there, milk. I put BioSil in there. Do you guys know what that is? It's silica. It's really, like, you start using silica, your nails will grow 3 times faster. You'll go, geez. You'll see, like, you wake up in the morning and you can see your nails actually growing in front of you. And then I put vitamin C in there, because if you're going mostly carnivore, you're going to be short on vitamin C. So we have that plant-based vitamin C. And then I add collagen. I'll put, like, I think I put 3 eggs in my smoothie today, raw eggs.
Rocky Balboa.
Is that what he did? I didn't know that. All right, here's the dessert. All right, so you get the berries, maybe a little bit of date in there, and then the magic topping is you grind up some of those pork rinds. And yeah, you put the pork rinds because then it tastes like Captain Crunch, dude. It's like, so, you know what Captain Crunch is?
Yeah.
Pork rinds?
No, right, Kurt? You wouldn't think it's good. You wouldn't think honey on a steak is good either until you try it. All right, what is it? Sugar and fruit. Fructose does not affect your insulin resistance. Neither does the honey or maple syrup. The processed sugars and seed oils increase insulin resistance. I'm going fast now. Total testosterone decreases with time-restricted diets. So your intermittent fasting is probably not good for your testosterone, according to the research. Oh, God.
Really?
If it was that easy, right?
No.
Like, I didn't have any coffee at all yesterday, and then I was like, it was like the 9th inning here, and I'm going, oh my God, I gotta have just a little tiny bit of coffee.
Have you tried mushroom coffee?
That's what's in there. Psilocybin coffee. I'm seeing like unicorns right now. And caffeine worsens insulin resistance. So what? Also, caffeine affects your insulin sensitivity, which can lead to diabetes mellitus, or diabetes type 2. Caffeine ingestion before it affects your diabetes. Okay, so we're gonna go real quick, and then we're done. Eliminate what? Gluten.
Nightshades.
What are nightshades?
Green
Bell peppers. Oh God, I
Eggplants.
love eggplant. My grandmother made the best eggplant parmesan in the world. Foods high in oxalates, processed sugar, and even what? Artificial sweeteners, including stevia, because you're lying to your body. Seed oils.
Seed oils was a big thing for my weight loss.
Yeah,
Huge.
it's huge. Just stay away from all the things that they've been like flax
It's in
seeds.
everything.
Yeah, it's in everything. Good point. It's in all the crap. Like, if you have to read a label, you shouldn't be eating it, right? Because there's not a label on a banana. There's not a label on a steak. There's not a label on clean water. All right, so you want to get, so you're going to get your, guys are going to get their testosterone checked. You also want to get your A1C checked. It's part of your blood. So you want to keep it below 5.7. The worst, I think one of the worst diseases to get, this kills you slowly. Like I saw my grandfather just literally slowly die from diabetes. Lost his feet, lost his vision, all because of food. All he had to do is change his diet. But they think you're crazy, right? It's not that easy, man. Stay away from spices, cause autoimmune issues. Pepperine and pepper decreases detoxification of the liver. What else? Review. I already went over that. Remove plant antigen, increases autoimmune issues, increases inflammation. Protein to fat ratio should be about 2 to 1. You can add tallow. I put a lot of raw butter on everything. Ghee prevents the rapid sickness, connective tissue, muscle meat. Eat nose to tail, heart, liver, lungs, brain, testicles, thyroid. Talked about that. Liver is your best multivitamin. Liver raw. You can eat it raw too. Zoe, you eat it raw? You eat your liver raw?
Cook it.
Do you eat it raw?
Oh gosh, no.
Okay.
I'm not that
But you
bad.
have to cook it though. When you cook it,
You
don't
can eat it raw
overcook
though.
it. Yeah, you still eat it raw.
And then the
because
company
you
where you
have
get
to
all
cook it.
these, like you said, supplements that have liver or the testicles, is Heart and Soil. I take omegas every day. You should see my counter. I don't even keep it in the cupboards anymore because it would take me all day to just take them out. It's covered with, yes, Jack.
One question. Why is stevia bad?
Because your body thinks it's getting something that it's not. And it probably just increases your hunger. Like all these guys that drink, you see them, they're drinking a Diet Coke and like McDonald's. I don't get it. And they wonder why they can't lose weight. Diet Coke, just think your body. And the reason a lot of times people keep eating because they're eating foods that are high in what calories, but they don't have any like nutrition in it. Yeah. Yes, Jack.
I've been substituting sugar. I've been not taking sugar and dairy in my coffee. I've been doing coconut milk and I've been adding organic maple syrup.
It's perfect. You just learned that doesn't affect your insulin.
Superfood
Did everybody get a chance to try the pork rinds too?
Yeah, they're on the table. if you
Okay,
want.
cool.
organic maple syrup.
Okay, we're done. Okay, if anybody's not a patient in here, we got a great special. For $80, you get your consultation, you get a spinal exam, you get digital x-rays, you get a